Yes, I'm fully with you. Again, and having been in this field for so long, I know that it's definitely about business. Now, that's a big machine that you're going up against. How do you plan, and what is it that you have demonstrated as it relates to successes? Because you're now touting the statistics in our community. What are the statistics in your community?
33 years, African American men are #1 in the world in prostate cancer and hypertension. 1 in 13 blacks in America suffering fatal kidney disease. 33 years, we have not experienced one fatal, not one incidence of kidney disorder. 33 years, not one case of prostate cancer. 33 years, not one heart attack. 33 years, not one case of cancer. Well, let us be realistic. You would think that with statistics like that, that African American researchers, scientists, and doctors, that they would be beating down the doors of the community in Dimona. Absolutely not. Not one research team has visited Dimona to assess how we were able to achieve such miraculous results. Why? Because the interest of our people is not in their heart. We have now got to go back and to assess and to ask our people, why is it? I'm saying these things publicly. This is not a secret. This is not a mystery. Why is it that they have not sought out the grants to send the teams to do the research, to assess as to how we have achieved such miraculous results in Dimona? Simply because of our diets. We, first of all, I had to teach our people that there is a direct correlation, a direct connection between what you consume and, again, the end result. You see, if they are not able to connect up diet with the health issue, then that means that they're looking at this end results and they're pondering as to why, but they're not connecting it up with what they are consuming. I'm simply saying that we must go back now and we must chastise these leaders that are continuously diverting the attention of our people from the essential elements, the true life and living. I say unto you, my beloved son, you cannot be living and dying at the same time. It is evident that the present leaders are processing our people from the carnation of the womb, the carnation milk, to the carnation of the grave. And it is evident that this is their objective. Why? Because I am able, we are all able in 2002 to assess the end results.
Now,
How do you
nutritionally
lose so
speaking,
much weight? What kind of diet are you on?
The short answer is I went on essentially a plant-based diet. I live on beans, legumes, vegetables, fruit. I drink a protein supplement every morning, no dairy. I drink almond milk mixed in with fruit and a protein powder, so I get the protein for the day when I start the day out. And it changed my whole metabolism, and I lost 24 pounds, and I got back to basically what I weighed in high school. But I did it for a different reason. I mean, I wanted to lose a little weight, but I never dreamed this would happen. I did it because after I had this stent put in, I realized that even though it happens quite often that after you have bypasses, you lose the veins because they're thinner and weaker than arteries. The truth is that it clogged up, which means that the cholesterol was still causing buildup in my vein.
The one thing an animal-based diet does best is kill people. It does this by clogging arteries and restricting the flow of blood and oxygen throughout the body. Deprive the heart of oxygen, you get a heart attack. Deprive the brain of oxygen, you get a stroke. Deprive your tissues and cells of oxygen, and you set up the underlying cause of all cancers. Eating animal foods causes a fatty sludge buildup in your blood, and some of it sticks to the sides of your arteries. Your blood should be as clean and clear as the wine in this glass. When you eat a high-fat meal, it creates a fatty sludge buildup in your blood and causes your body to spend the next 5 hours cleaning up the mess. Of course, the excess fat and cholesterol eventually settles, usually in your arteries. This picture shows how fat and cholesterol build up in the arteries and restrict the flow of blood. The blue circle shows how wide the artery should be, and the red circle shows how narrow it has become. Now imagine blood vessels throughout your entire body clogging up like this. The vast majority of our major diseases today, ranging from heart disease to spinal disc deterioration to senility, are ultimately the result of clogged arteries. In other words, clogged arteries go far beyond heart disease, and almost all Americans have heart disease throughout their entire bodies. The seriousness of clogged blood vessels can't be exaggerated. More people die from blood vessel diseases than from all other causes of death combined. The primary cause of clogged blood vessels is cholesterol, and the only dietary source of cholesterol on the planet is animal foods. Animal foods close arteries. Plant foods open them. This is why our switch from a plant-based diet to an animal-based diet has been the biggest health disaster in human history. In fact, it's been estimated that cholesterol has contributed to more deaths than all the wars of the 20th century, all natural disasters, and all automobile accidents combined. Human bodies simply cannot handle cholesterol. It's the Achilles heel and fatal weakness of an animal-based diet. Movies and history books glorify man slaying animals and make it seem like eating meat was a daily event, but eating animals was extremely rare. In fact, ancient man was more the hunted than the hunter. Since the beginning, some 5 million years ago, humans have been, for all practical purposes, plant-eating vegetarians, living on fruits, leaves, nuts, berries, and other plant foods. Ancient humans ate over 800 varieties of fruits and vegetables. We can eat an unlimited amount of plant foods with health-enhancing effects, but we can only eat a tiny amount of animal foods before our arteries start to get clogged. Cholesterol has been called the animal's revenge because the animals you eat leave a little bit of themselves behind in your arteries every time you eat them, and they'll kill you from their graves. Our liver produces all the cholesterol we'll ever need on its own, and the requirement for cholesterol in our diet is exactly 0.
And thank God I could take the stents. I don't want it to happen again. So I did all this research, and I saw that 82% of the people since 1986 who have gone on a plant-based, no dairy, no meat of any kind, no chicken, turkey. I eat very little fish. Once in a while I'll have a little fish, not often. If you can do it, 82% of the people who've done that have begun to heal themselves. Their arterial blockage cleans up. The calcium deposit around their heart breaks up. This movement has been led by a doctor named Caldwell Esselstyn at the Cleveland Clinic, Dean Ornish, whom you know, out in California, the doctors Campbell, father and son, who wrote the China study, and a handful of others. But we now have 25 years of evidence. And so I thought, well, since I need to lose a little weight for Chelsea's wedding, I'll become part of this experiment. I'll see if I can be one of those that can have a self-clearing mechanism. We'll see.
I hope you're healthy for many years and get to see grandchildren for many years
Me
to
too.
come.
That's really the big deal. You know, Hillary and I, we're happy. We love our son-in-law and we admire him, but we'd like to be around. If there's grandkids, we want to be there to do our part.
Mr. President, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you do.
Now, nutritionally speaking, you have formulated a diet for your community that, of course, has made your people avoid many of the illnesses that folks in America are suffering from regularly. Now, where do you base this diet on? And you spoke about there being a spiritual problem. What's the connection between the nutritional and the spiritual and this solution that you've been able to find for your people?
Well, again, we have had to go back to the book of Genesis, back to the book of Genesis to the diet that was given by the Creator unto our people. And as I go back to share this with you, at the same time, I can verify the Genesis creative process. In the book of Genesis, we are reminded that we were all created from the dirt, from the soil, from the dust of the earth. If, in fact, we were created from the dirt of the earth, from the soil, then there has to be some kind of synergy, some way to verify if, in fact, that creative process actually came to be. Let us consider. There are 112 minerals in the earth. For example, iron. You have iron in your body? Phosphorus, manganese, magnesium, boron, nickel, calcium. All of these minerals that are found in the earth are in fact found in our bodies.
Right.
And together with that, we must supply our bodies with these essential minerals, or either we will get sick and ultimately we will die.
Right.
So that means that we cannot live without those minerals. The infinite wisdom of the Creator caused us to what? He knew that we could not consume these minerals as ores. I could not go out and hack a piece of iron out of the mountain and consume that, ingest it and digest it and metabolize it. But in his infinite wisdom, still knowing and following a perfect plan, he then caused plants to spring forth from the same earth from which we were created. And in those plants, we could find an ample supply of all of the minerals for our bodies. So the Creator then gave us a diet that we would have to consume from the same source from which we were created. It is for that reason that I'm a vegan. This is not just a movement or a fad. This is us going back to live in harmony with the will of the Creator, to move from the transient to the eternal. And I'm simply saying to our people that no animal consumption has anything to do with your beginnings, but it does have something to do with your endings. And we're simply saying that when you consume animal flesh, you move from the transient, you move from the eternal to the transit. So I am a vegan. I am a vegan because I am consuming from the source of my creation, the soil from which I was taken. I, from that same soil, receive all of my nutrition.
And a vegan is just an absolute vegetarian.
Absolutely.
There you
We
go.
consume no animal products or byproducts.
This has been a Joshua production.